Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Dean's List Brewery coming at you with my first, I believe it's the first, maybe second Homebrew Wednesday video of 2016. Can't believe it's 2016. I can't believe it's 2016. Wow, where did 2015 go? Saw some cool New Year's videos. A lot of folks talking about the ups and the downs of 2015. You know, we had some loss in our community with time for another one. But there was also a positive, overwhelming support and great community kind of togetherness, that we all saw when that happened. A lot of crazy stuff going on, at least in our country here in the United States. Just a lot of I don't know how to describe it. Yeah, just a lot of stuff going on in the country. If you're here in the United States, you know what I'm talking about. Interesting season coming up. We have election season, so that should be interesting. On a really high note, the Redskins started off in a really low. That's our football team here in the Washington D.C. area. They started off on a low point with a quarterback controversy and who's going to be playing, who's in charge, who's going where. And they got that sorted out. Quarterback Kirk Cousins has come on strong, and he is the Redskins have closed out the season with a 4-0 streak. Some say they've had an easy schedule. I like to think that they're just crystallizing at the right time. They're gelling as a team, and hopefully we see them do well in the playoffs. And Josh out there, go Packs fan. I'm hoping that you don't have a good. I think it's Saturday they're playing. I'm hoping you don't have a good Saturday this coming Saturday, because if you do have a good Saturday, that means my Redskins are eliminated out of the wild card weekend. So, hail to the Redskins. In other news, I actually kegged and tapped the Paul Wicksteed tribute beer, Paul's Pale. Here is that beer. I did one post yesterday during the Redskins game. Kind of broke into it on Sunday. Had the first taste of it. And I'm going to go ahead and do it formally here for Homebrew Wednesday. First off, the color's a little bit dark that I've seen from other folks. I think my starting gravity was 1051, and my final gravity was 1009. So I think that gives me, is that 6.8? Yeah, it gives me 6.8. It sounds high, but I think that's what I ended up with. Maybe it was 1061 and 1009. I think it was 1051 and 1009. But that got me to 6.8%, a little bit stronger than what the recipe, actually a little bit stronger than what the recipe called for. Also, the color looks a little dark. It's very clear. I put gelatin in it and everything. It looks a little bit dark than what I've seen online with some of the real panhead superchargers that they point out. Some of you guys to compare your versions of Paul's beer with the official panhead supercharger version. This one looks almost like the color of the double IPA that Les Brew did. By the way, Les Brew, that was an awesome video. You did your double IPA version, your regular pale ale or your double version, your regular version, and then the panhead. That was really cool. That was a really nice video. I enjoyed that. But let's go ahead and do a review here. Okay, so I talked about the appearance. Color's a little darker than, but other than that, I also used oats too, so it kind of makes it a little thicker, I think. I don't get a whole lot of the hops. I actually modified the ingredients somewhat. I only put 1 ounce of Citra in the dry hop. And then during the hop schedule, I think I had like 0.3 ounces of Pacific Jade at the 60-minute, and then I put in the final 5-minute the rest of the Pacific Jade, and then I had 1 ounce and 1.25 ounces of that other hop Simcoe, Citra, and whatever else, Hop-A-Dish, Amarillo, whatever else was in there. I kind of bumped it up a little bit, so I didn't have to do all that measuring and everything. Since most of those hops I had them coming in at the 0-minute steep, it didn't put a whole lot of bitterness. But I don't get much hop aroma. I did the whirlpool at 180 degrees for about 20-30 minutes, I guess. So anyway, let's go in for a taste. I've heard some of you describe that the beer might be a little bitter for your taste. This one's not bitter at all. I mean, it tastes like a strong, it tastes like a bitter, or it tastes like a above average bitterness on an American pale ale, but it doesn't quite taste like an IPA, and I think that's really awesome. It's very drinkable, which is kind of scary because it's 6.8. It seems very sessionable, so that might get you in trouble. So anyway, cheers, Paul. It was already time for another one. So what else? I sent out beer mail to 4 of my respected brew tubers. You should be getting your packages on Wednesday, according to the shipping company. And one of them is heading all the way over to the UK. So my first time shipping over to the UK. It's glass bottles, so I hope that works out. I think I packed it pretty well. A lot of popcorn. What do you call them? Popcorn styrofoam and bubble wrap on the bottles, and I had them like double and triple bags, so should be okay. 3 beers in each of those. What you're going to get is a Cum Laude Vienna, which I call now an American Amber. You should get a old school double IPA, and that's one of the ones you've probably heard me talk about quite a bit. And the other one is the Punching Judy Extra Special Bitter, and it's my wife's favorite. It's kind of a little more chocolatey, and hopefully you guys like those, and it'll be interesting to see what you guys think of it. My first time doing some kind of cool Dean's List labels, so hope you like those. And make sure you read the little side notes on the sides of the labels, because I kind of write, it's one half on one side of the bottle, the other half on the other side of the bottle, kind of what was going through my mind when I designed these beers, and hopefully you pick up on some of that and you like them. I love the double IPA, so hopefully you guys. Actually, I like them all, but I really like Old School. So anyway, got that going out yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Saturday evening. I brewed my first Munich Helles, and just bear with me real quick. I will pause this and kind of give you the rundown. Okay, so now at the Dean's List on tap, I've got Punch and Judy ESB. I've got Paul's Pale, which I just recently tapped, and I have the Old School Double IPA. Not a whole lot of that left. That's going to kick any time now. And because I only have a kegerator that does one tap at a time, I have to go back and forth. Fermenting, I have Centennial Bavarian, which is my Munich Helles, my own recipe. It's basically a lot of Pilsner, and I tried to find the Munich Helles yeast, but I couldn't find that, so I went with Munich Lager, Y yeast, Smack Pack. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to use a 3-week method that I got from Lou Brew and Josh Secor on the brew philosophy or brewlosophy. So you fermented it at 48 degrees for about 7 days. So I'll check the gravity on the 8th of January, and my target I should be, since my OG was 1051, I should be to 1031 at 8 days, and that'll be 50% attenuation. Once I hit that, then I'll ramp it up to I think about 60-something degrees. I got to go back and look at the notes to try to encourage a little more vigorous fermentation, and then let that go for 5 to 7 days, and then kick it down all the way down to 33 degrees or so to cold crash it for another week or two. I'll leave it in there a while because I really want this Munich Helles to come out well. I had one at the top of the Zugspitze in Garmisch, Germany. You might remember several episodes back, and man, I love me some Munich Helles. So there's my brew details. First running was 1066. My pre-boil was 1035. This is for the Paul's Pale. My pre-boil was 1035 target, and I hit 1041. My target OG was 1048. I hit 1051. I didn't think that was going to happen because I collected a whole bunch. I collected like 7.4 gallons. And then I mashed, let's see here. I don't care about that. There's my hop schedule. I'm sorry, this is not Paul's Pale. This is my Munich Helles. I'll edit that out. So there's my hop schedule. You see a half an ounce of Hallertau, half an ounce of Hallertau at 60 and 30, 15 minutes the Werflock, 10 minutes the Irish moss and yeast, and then 5 minutes the 1 ounce of Hallertau. And then I whirlpooled it for about 10 minutes before I moved it over into the fermentation. So here we are in my lagering chamber, my nice fancy lagering chamber. You can hopefully see there that I don't know if it'll zoom in. Yeah, it's not zooming in. But the wow, that's weird. I don't know why. Boy, it's not zooming in. Anyway, the temperature, if you could read it, says about 48, 49 degrees, and you can see this. It's slightly bubbling. I find when it lagers, yeah, there you go. There's one. When it lagers, it goes kind of slow. So all things looking good. Okay, so here I am back. So anyway, that's that. So beer mail, Pulse Pale, tasting good. The Munich Helles in the fermenting bucket. And I think for my next beer, I'm going to take all the scrap grains I have left, throw some Fuggles and East Kent Golden and some washed yeast that I have from London Yeast Batch or British Ale, and just see what happens. I kind of like those. You know, you don't know what it's going to taste like. You just throw all this grain together. I don't even remember what's in some of the bags, if it's properly labeled or not, and don't even know how much grain I have, but, you know, it's not Friday, but F it, right? By the way, before I forget it, F it, let's brew it. Dan, the man, that was a great brew day video you did. That triple brew day was freaking epic. I put you a comment on your channel. Love that thing, man. I'm so glad you did a brew day. I kind of urge you to. I'm sure a lot of people have been urging you to, but you did a great one. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun watching it. I mean, you really got in there, and I can almost smell the boil when you put those leaves in there with a mushroomy kind of, you know. Anyway, just a very, very cool brew day. Looked like a lot of fun. Wish I was up there with you helping you brew that. Looked like a good time. Anything else? Did I mention, Josh, I hope your Packers lose on Saturday? Did I mention that? Go Redskins. Okay, well, hey, I think that's, is that it? Oh, how can I forget? So, I should be at work today, but I had to go have a medical procedure done. I had this kind of neck problem bothering me, so, you know, in military medicine, infinite wisdom, they said, hey, let's go through pain management. So I had to go see this nice gentleman who stuck a very long needle in my neck and, you know, shot some steroids into me. So, you know, hey, we'll see what happens. I don't feel anything right now, you know, but should wear off in a day or so, and then we'll see what happens. Hopefully it works. I don't feel like doing surgery or anything like that, and, you know, I do not like going to hospitals. So anyway, on that note, have a very happy new year, 2016, and look forward to seeing all your community videos as the year goes by. And hopefully see some of you guys in March in Baltimore, because the National Homebrew Convention is coming to my neck of the woods. I know I'm going to see Sakura there. Cheers.